What's up friends, Chook here and welcome back to Bit Heroes. It is Tuesday, it is on a fun day. So we have a few more Tuesdays to go before it goes back to Sunday. So this week and next week and then maybe the following week might be back to Sunday. So this week on the weekend I've got a wedding and some other stuff, and then the following week is the official move of house. So this week and next week it's Tuesdays, and then the following week perhaps Sunday, hopefully. That all depends whether our internet is on and all that sort of stuff. So there might be a week with no videos, but we shall see. Anyway, it is Tuesday, it is Item Fun Day. A big shout out to Zilpha, who is now a member of Iconic, for your donation. Thank you so much. As always, with everyone else as well. I appreciate it a lot, and you're awesome. So thank you very much. And again, if you would like to donate, there is a link in the description to help me get up and running with a new PC for streaming and high quality videos and all that sort of stuff. So if you would like to donate, there is a link down in the description. Alright, let's get started. We have one trial because I was dumb and forgot that I had to record today, and I did one in bed this morning. So let's get this one out of the way. And then we will do maybe some world boss, and then we'll do some raids. So this week for raids, we might not be able to do it properly as well as we have been. Not as well, but like as well as we have been in previous weeks. If that makes sense. Eagle has gone off my friends list. Hopefully just for a short amount of time. Anyway, it's a bit of a thing that I'm trying to fix and whatnot. Doesn't matter, it doesn't regard you guys at all, but we've got a new tank in the back, so we'll see how we go, and it should be okay, it should be alright, but we'll see. Anyway, hopefully it's all good, but we'll finish this off, we'll do some world boss, and then we'll get stuck into raids. I do have some raid shard baskets. I do have 2 raid shard baskets, so that's effectively an extra 40 raids, but I will not be using them today or probably anytime soon because I'm super busy. But we'll probably get a super scroll for that as well, and maybe we'll do that one day. If I'm streaming by that stage, which is probably not going to happen, we could do a big long stream. Maybe I'll keep them till the stream. I think I may have said that last time actually. Maybe I'll keep them until I'm streaming, and then we can do like a 2-hour long like Bit Heroes stream and do a heap of raids. We shall see. But that is definitely an option for Item Find going forward. I just will need a super scroll or something to make it worthwhile. And we can do that. So we are still going for the 2 mythics that we have. I was considering going tank build, and we've talked about that in length in previous episodes. I don't think I'm going to do it purely because I've got 2 mythic DPS pieces of gear. My god, that took a while to say. 2 mythic DPS pieces of gear. I've got the Melvin Cloak and the Frosty Bite ring. We're just going to give myself a tiny heal here. There we go. So we're going to upgrade them fully. We could kind of do like a mixed build where we have a few of the tank pieces and a few of the like DPS pieces and stuff, but that's not super ideal, right? It's not super ideal. And oh damn it, we do have a few of 2 different tank builds, which is hilarious. So if we go to equipment quickly, wherever it is, there it is. You can see that we have 2 of the tank, 2 of the raid tank set, and we got 2 of the expedition tank set. So we could, hypothetically, do these 2, because that's main hand and offhand, to give us 4% damage reduction. Again, we're not stacking damage reduction, so it's not really that important. But you know, it's better than, like, having 4% damage reduction is better than having nothing with just normal legendaries, but they are more expensive to upgrade. And then we have the body and the neck. Now unfortunately the neck, I have Frosty Bite, so that's not going to count. So if we get like the head, we could do, I don't think it has a ring. No, it doesn't, because it has this. I'm pretty sure it's like offhand, head, chest and neck, I'm pretty sure. So if we got the head, we could get 2 pieces of this, which is what's that, 2% deflect chance. So we could have 4% damage reduction, 2% deflect chance, and the rest DPS. Doesn't really make sense, right? But you know, as I said, may as well have those little bits of extra stuff rather than just have legendaries. So if we can get the helmet from this, then maybe we'll do that. Chest, helmet, offhand, main hand, offhand, and then we'll just have a legendary ring, I guess. Now, for the Melvin Cloak, we are 2 out of 4 upgrades. We need 1 more upgrade for it to be more TS than we're currently wearing. So if we go and take a look at that, upgrade. So yeah, if we go up 1 more, we're going to be up 242 and down, what, 160 something, 170 something. So that is going to be, you know, an extra 60 TS or something like that, if my maths is right. Probably not. So we just need 1 more upgrade for that to be useful, to be more TS, and then we'll obviously we get the benefit of the mythic as well. You and nearby teammates gain 2% increased damage, so that would be super good. All we need is a bunch of legendaries to break down to be able to do that, and then obviously we'll max that out. Then we can start working on either legendaries or these tank things. I don't know. We just talked about that. So that is the plan. Now we currently also have the tier 9 Empower helmet, so we'll be running 3 mythics, which is pretty crazy. I would love to upscale this, but I don't think it's going to happen, because if we go here and we want to go up a thing, we need 2 mythics to be able to do it. Then we need a bunch of these to be able to do it. We have this covered somehow. So we would need a heap of these, and that would just get it to tier 10. Then we would need a heap of these to upgrade it as well. And we would need 2 more mythics. So effectively we would need another Melvin Cloak, or 2 Melvin Cloaks, or, you know, another Frosty Bite or 2 Frosty Bites, or 1 of each again to be able to do it. It's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. So I'll probably end up upgrading this last. Maybe, I don't know. There's also this set piece to worry about as well. Anyway, that's enough talking. It is undefined, so that's why I decided to talk about gear just then rather than do it on a Thursday. But that is kind of the plan, or the loose plan we've got at the moment. So let's do some world boss and see how we go. I think we need 3 legendaries to break down to be able to get the Melvin Cloak wearable. So like enough TS to make it like 3 upgrades to make it improved TS to be wearable. So we need 3 legendaries. Hopefully we can get that semi soon, because that would be good. So we'll have the 4% in power from that helmet. We'll have the you and nearby thingies do 2% increased damage. Oh, hang on, let's have a look quickly. Yeah, you and nearby teammates gain 2% increased damage, and then we also have 5% SP skill damage. So all 3 of them is pretty awesome, without having any sets or anything. So that should be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. It's just a matter of getting enough legendaries to be able to do it. Then when we finally do get enough legendaries to upgrade it, we're going to need 300, I think, 300 more crubbles or something, which is like 6 legendaries to break down to be able to get that maxed out. So, and then we've just got 2 pieces out of 6, so we got a long way to go. But considering they have the mythic bonuses and stuff, they're obviously the first ones to go for, so that should be pretty good. Now the whole nearby teammates thing, gain 2% damage, whatnot, that means I'm pretty sure that means the 2 people on either side of you. So if you're like in slot 3 of 5 in your raid team effectively, then slot 2 and 4 will get that bonus. So what you want is you want a tank at the front, you want a tank at the back, and you want DPS bait, or bait DPS, anything like that. Or you could have tank front, tank second, and then DPS you bait, whatever you want to be, but you want to be in the middle of your DPS and your bait basically, so that they get the bonus of the extra damage, because as DPS you're going to have more power than anything else, as bait you're going to have more power than anything else. So you want to amplify those damages, whereas tank, they generally have more health, or like high health and less power than what baits and DPS do. Having said that, everyone in my raid team is maxed out tier 10, and I'm a scrub sitting here with 1 piece at the moment. So my power, even though I'm DPS, my power is still the lowest power in the raid team, I think. So yeah, that's not ideal, but we'll get there. We'll get upgraded one day. And then we are, for just quickly touching on familiars and all that sort of stuff, on Thursday we will keep going on Walkham, and once we finally do him, we will start on Bobbadom. So It's not super important yet because we don't really have any flags to beat. So all it's going to be helping with is Trials Gauntlet. I can complete Trials Gauntlet at 500, which is tier 10. So going any higher than 500 is not really necessarily needed. It's better for, you know, ranking higher and stuff in Trials to get the rewards at the end of the week. But, you know, the difference between 1,000 to 2,000 is like 5 Crubble and a few other little bits and pieces. So it's not really too big of a deal. Oh, wow. Holy crap. Let's do it. So yeah, going from 500 to like 550 or something is going to get me slightly more points at the end of the week, but I'm still going to be at 500. I'm still going to be in tier 10. So until you can get to 680, which is tier 10, where you can get sets and stuff, and it is the DPS set, so that's where I want to be. Until you get to 680, from 500 to 579 is all the same loot table. So the fact that I can do 500 doesn't really means that, sorry, I don't really need Stronger Familiars right now, because I can complete it. It's not convincing, but I can complete it. And as I get more TS, my Familiars will get stronger and I'll be able to complete it easier. So smashing out that Bobodom as quickly as possible to get him like +5 ASAP isn't necessary so much. And I'd like to just finish the Walkham so he's done and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So hopefully that all made sense. The fact that I can do 500, I don't need Stronger Familiars right now. But when I get to 680, if I get to 680, then I will need those Strong Familiars to be able to survive and be able to do that, right? So when I'm max TS, or close to or whatever, then I will need, you know, the +5 Walkham, the +5 Bobodom, or somewhere around there to be able to do 680, but at the moment I don't need it. Speaking of Bobodom though, I did manage to get him to +1, which is good. So if you remember from Wednesday videos, if you watch Wednesday videos, Thursday, sorry, videos, whatever it be, I had a Blagnar, which is like Blubber and Ragnar, so like the big, like dark blubber. It's the only, Ragnar's the only raid epic that you need to focus on for Bobodom. We've been through this many times, and that mixes with Blubber to make Blagnar, and then you just need a Nosdudu and a Yeti and some Robot Sprockets and some like common familiar or something to go with the Nosdudu. So I already had a Yeti, and I've got like more than 100 Robot Sprockets, so I just made that into Yobbo, easy. And then I had whatever the common familiar was, so all I needed was a Nosdudu. So literally to get him to +1, all I needed was a Nosdudu. Rather than keep going on Bobodom, on Walkham, I just thought, screw it, we'll get a Nosdudu, and then we have a +1 Bobodom. So that is done. So to get a +2 Bobodom, I pretty much need all the dungeon bosses, right? I already have a Ragnar in reserve, which is nice. So all I need is a Blubber, a Nosdudu, and a Yeti, and then I can make him +2. And then from there, we need to get 3 Ragnars and all the dungeon bosses 3 times. So the Ragnars are going to be the hard part of that. Do I even have 20? I do not. I almost do. How long's the Oh, okay. I'm about to. Yeah, so the 3 Ragnars are going to be, the more the pain in the ass thing. And then we'll get the dungeon bosses. Not too bad. We only need 9 of them. Which only 9 sounds a bit wrong. But it's better getting 9 dungeon bosses than 9 raid epics, that's for sure. So 3 raid epics, not too bad. So we need 3 raid epics for Bobodom, we need 3 raid epics for Walkham, and then the rest of the dungeon bosses. So we're not in a too bad a position. We talked about it before. Bobodom is relatively easy to fuse. You just got to get the schematic, right? That's the hard part. All right, that is all done. As we can see as well, might as well touch on this. I'm at basically 4.9k gems. I need 5.1 for the accessory box. They're not on sale right now. I also want to buy a super scroll for those raid shard baskets, but if I'm not going to use those raid shard baskets for a while, the super scroll can wait. So I basically need 200 gems, and then I just need to wait for the 5.1k box to come on sale, buy it, get a shitty epic that we don't want, and then never do it again. I've decided that if I don't get a legendary from the 5.1k box, I'm not going to buy another 5.1k box. It's just ball busting to save that much free to play, and ultimately I've spent 25k on pet, roughly, I'm pretty sure, gems to get Toba, and this will be 25k on an accessory. That's 50k is free to play. It's pretty much 90% of the gems I've ever earned in this whole game I've spent on accessory boxes and pets. So if I don't get it, I think I'll just keep this, and maybe I'll just keep opening 800 gem boxes once in a while just to see. But considering I love Dual Strike, this is the second best Dual Strike accessory in the game. The only one better is Melvin Champ, which is the one I want to get. So even if I get a legendary accessory, I may not necessarily use it because it's going to reduce my Dual Strike. And I've pretty much been stacking Dual Strike since day one. So I have 36.25% Dual Strike, which is pretty massive considering I don't have Melvin Champ. So again, free to play. I'm not a min-maxer, I've talked about this before. Let's get a raid started while I'm rambling. So this is my new raid team. I've tried to figure it out, and we'll go with this. I still have 26k TS, and we'll see how we go. Now I do have some backups as well, some other things I can chuck around. So at the moment we got Chaos, he's never changed, and we got Rev Me Up as my DPS. He never changes either, although he has changed his build around, which is interesting. So they never change, although he's using an offensive pet, which is not great because I think Chaos is doing that as well. He is. So this may struggle because we don't have healing pets. But I do have Chaos. He's pretty much not going anywhere. Avid Shadow and Johnny Black and Rev Me Up's not going anywhere. Obviously I can't go anywhere, and this is what I was talking about before. I have the lowest power, even though I'm DPS, which is hilarious. Avid Shadow and Johnny Black are the ones that we can swap out. So we have a few baits and we have a few like main tanks effectively that we can swap out. So if we have a look, we have Gav Jin. He's the bait I've been using. So we've always got him to fall back on. We have RBT Shadow. So there's Avid Shadow, and is it Avid Shadow? Is that his name? Yeah, Avid Shadow, and then RBT Shadow. So Avid Shadow is the bait. RBT Shadow is the tank. We also have Shock and Awe that recently added me, so thank you very much, dude, if you're watching this. We had a bit of a chat, and he's a cool dude. Which is kind of a bait, because he's only got a low amount of health, but he does have Obliteration set. So I've got a few options. I'm still haven't figured it out. We've also got Zaki as well, who's in full tier 10, and his runes are, well, apart from this one, almost maxed. So we've got options. We've definitely got options, but since I've had a little altercation with Eagle, we'll say, again, I'm not going to get into that, but hopefully I can smooth that out. We've had to change our stuff up a bit. If we get Eagle back, then we can slot them in, but it's also always nice to have options, which is good. So for the moment, let's try Avid Shadow, because why not, right? We'll try this, we'll see how it goes, and then if this doesn't go particularly well, we can, you know, swap it out and stuff. Now again, TS doesn't mean everything for raids. It doesn't particularly, just if you have 26,322 TS, doesn't necessarily mean that you can complete Raid 7 on Heroic. As we've just seen, Chaos is wearing a offensive pet. Avid Shadow is wearing it. Nope, sorry. Johnny Black. Nope, who was it? Rev Me Up. Rev Me Up is wearing offensive pet, so we're going to have less heals from pets, less shield from pets. We will be killing things faster, but it might not be the case. So, you know, builds become much more important than TS does. TS is important, don't get me wrong. And having a team full of tier 10 maxed out people is ideal and great and whatnot. But builds make a significant part of success. So if you have the right builds, then you're great. I don't think we'll have problems with trash mobs, like just normal mob packs and stuff, but the boss might hurt. So, yeah, we shall see. So if Avid Shadow, for instance, he's the bait, so he's going to get hit a lot, as is Chaos. So these two are going to get hit probably more than anyone. All these little stupid fox things are going to hit the bait, and he doesn't have a healing pet, so the amount of heal or shield procs that we could be getting is going to be less. And Chaos is the main tank. It's at the front. He's going to take all the auto attacks and everything. And he also has an offensive pet, so less heals there. To be fair, they have those attacking pets, so they're going to be crushing enemies quickly. But in pretty much any game I play, and I've gone over this recently, talked about this in depth in one of my recent God of War videos, is you can't really kill shit if you're dead. Right? This is why in any game, I'm a very defensive kind of player. I tend to go for defensive stats, defensive builds, defensive everything. Pretty much any MMO or game that I play, RPG, anything like that, I generally go the tank route. And that's why I went DPS in Bit Heroes, because I just wanted to play something different. Little did I know that tanks were OP. But I'm not a min-max or anything like that, and I don't care about going the OP best character thing anyway, so it's kind of worked out. Games are there to have fun. I don't really understand min-maxing because, you know, you're just doing the absolute best thing you could possibly do, and if that's fun for you to just crush things without having to try, then fair enough. But for me, I like a challenge and whatnot, so holy crap, I just attacked like 480 times. I think that was me, although someone else has a gun. So it could have been whoever that was. That skill's freaking awesome, by the way. Especially with dual struck, you attack 468 times, as I just mentioned. Alright, so the little stupid things down. Let's auto this and see how we go. I can definitely beat R7 manual, but you know me, and I'm all about the auto. So this one went alright, actually. We're not out of the woods just yet. Chaos has taken some deeps, and as we've talked about, less heals and whatnot. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, we'll go with this team again for what it's worth, because that worked. We'll see if this is like the new team. Yeah, you can't kill shit if you're dead. So I always go the defensive option. Any game that I play, I usually play with a real life friend of mine, Raz, if you know who that is, and he always goes a healer, I always go a tank, and generally together we are able to do a lot of content that, you know, a DPS on his own can't do. Or even a DPS and a healer can't do, or even a DPS and a tank can't do. So it kind of works, and that's just the way we've done it forever. So, having defensive stuff, for me, is better than having offensive stuff. So I would much prefer having defensive pets, because they keep you alive. When you're alive, you can do stuff. When you're dead, you can't do stuff. So that's my philosophy pretty much in gaming, is defense is better than offense. And the best offense is a strong defense, something like that, whatever that saying is. So yeah, that stands true, and that's the way I play games. So if you ever play anything with me in the future, I'm trying to think of stuff that I can do when I start streaming with you guys. You know, if it's something like, I don't know, maybe like Overwatch, or like maybe some action RPG like Dabbler or something like that, I'll probably play some form of tank. So like, actually, thinking about it, in Overwatch, I don't play anymore, but when I did play, my main was Junkrat, who does a lot of damage, but he is a defensive character with his traps and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, whatever. And then my second was Reinhardt. So Reinhardt was my tank, and Diva, actually. So yeah, I still kind of play defensive characters. And yeah. Anyway, there's my ramble for the episode, my one ramble for the episode about defense over offense. Anyway, so this worked out pretty good. Let's give it another go. We'll see how we go. The first one, you need to do quite a few to like get the sample data out there. So you know, you do 10 raid 7 heroics, for instance. And then you make a note of how many you failed, or how many were close, or, you know, who is dying more often, and all that sort of stuff. So if someone's dying every single raid, maybe think about swapping them out for someone else. But you can't just call that a win off one raid. You need quite a few sample data and stuff to make your decision about if it's working, if it's not working, because you can get a fluke, right? Or you can be lucky in RNG and all that good stuff. Particularly raid 6, we've talked about that before, where raid 6 just flipped a coin whether it was going to like absolutely destroy your arsehole or not, and most of the time my arsehole was destroyed. So that raid was with all the empower and all that, those hits and stuff, like you just got wiped in in a raid, and then the next one you did it without using pots. So raid 6 was a bit of a dick bag, but now we're here, and this raid definitely has that potential as well, but I don't think as much. And someone was telling me, I can't remember who it was because it's too many people I talk to, but someone was telling me that even with their raid team and everything that's gone up in, we're just going to auto this because this tree I generally just auto against because it doesn't do anything. Yeah, someone was saying that even with their raid 7 heroic like team and everything, let's see if he heals back up. See, this is the problem with not having as many healing pets. We are doing a fair amount of damage to this guy though. Okay, this kind of worked as well. Well, it definitely worked. What am I talking about? Anyway, I need to finish this story because I've interrupted myself twice or 3 times. He was saying with his full raid 7 heroic team and everything, he went back to do raid 6 for, I don't know, for whatever reason, we'll say familiar or something, and got crushed. Which is surprising. So, you know, you would think that even though that raid was just horseshit, it looked cool and I like the theme of it. I've talked about that before. It's my favorite raid as far as aesthetics go. But yeah, it's rough. So you would think with an extra 3000 TS, or I don't know, that was a hypothetical number, that you would go back and just smash it. But yeah, he went in and he got destroyed, and that sucks. But it's also kind of funny that, you know, that raid is still a pain in the ass, even with maybe it wasn't full tier 7 TS. Maybe it was like a week in or something, and that people had a few upgrades or whatnot. I would be tempted to try it and go back and do it, but it's a waste of a raid shard, and every raid shard counts when you're trying to get loot. If I was max TS, I'd try it, but you know, every raid 7 heroic that you don't do is a raid 7 heroic that you potentially don't get a legendary or a set or a mythic or something like that will help you build. So that's why kind of capture rate day is a bit of a ball bag as well, because as we talked about before, I don't really need familiars right now. I don't need stacked familiars right now, stabled familiars, sorry, because I can do 500. So, you know, there's part of me that just wants to keep smashing out raid 7 heroic every day no matter what. But item find day is, sorry, capture rate day is a different type of video, and I know a lot of you guys enjoy capture rate day, probably more than item find day, because we can, like, you know, wallow in our sorrow together that we don't capture stuff. And I've had a lot of comments, you know, in jest saying like, thanks for capture rate day, you know, you not catching things makes me feel better because I can't catch anything. And I'm like, well, I'm here to please. So, you know, I don't want to just do 2 or 3 videos a week that are the same thing. So, you know, we can alternate it and vary it up by doing capture rate. Plus, it is important for future proofing. So when I do get to 680, if I get to 680, I'm going to need those strong fams. So, you know, if I get to 680 and I don't have them and I start working on familiars, then I'm wasting a giant amount of time. So if I do it now, I'll have them for when I get to 680, and then we should be good. Okay, so we're 2 down, 2 fairly successful. I didn't think I used a pot at all then, so that's very successful, but it was kind of clutch there at the end. I think if we didn't have the tree with the boss, we might have been in a little bit more trouble, because the tree is basically nothing. He's like meaty. He just stands there and takes like all the hits to the face, while the boss just destroys you. But at least it's not something else destroying you. It's a tough one, actually. I think about this a bit when I'm doing raid 7 heroic and which familiar I prefer to have with the boss. And I actually think my preferred one would be this fox. Even though he hits like a truck and every attack he has targets the bait, he's super weak defensively, and you know, theme of this video is defense over offense. So he dies super quick. So if you can either save up some SP before you go into the battle, or you kill everything in the raid and there's an SP shrine, and you go back and you grab that before the boss, you can just do target enemy and just knock him out super quick, and then you got the boss. So I think him being there is is probably the easiest. The next easiest would be the tree, because he doesn't hurt. He just takes a while to kill, and I just said that while he's taking a while to kill, the boss is attacking you. But no matter what's there, whether it's the tree or the fox or the mushrooms, the boss is attacking you anyway. So you may as well have an enemy that doesn't really do anything, that's just sitting there. You know, he's going to chip away at you a little bit, but he doesn't really do much. He's just a big wall. The worst is for me at least, is definitely these mushrooms. They hit hard, man, and they're not as squishy as the fox. They're not as tanky as the tree, but they take a while to kill. Like a fair while to kill, and I don't know what their skills are. I haven't caught any of these familiars. I can easily look it up, but I haven't. And if you've been a fan of me and the channel for a while, you would know that I never look anything up. I never go trolling through the wiki or Reddit or nothing. I just find stuff out as I play. So I'm not a huge, massive, knowledgeable source of all information. Early game and mid game, I'm pretty much, yeah, I made all the guides and stuff, and I know what's going on. Late game, I'm as knowledgeable as most people, right? As just figuring stuff out as we go. So, you know, I make mistakes here and there. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone's human. But I have never caught any of these fams, so I've been told that the stupid fox has attack weakest, which is your lowest HP target, with every attack it has, which is why when there's one there, your bait tends to get destroyed, we'll say. But the mushrooms, I don't know who they attack. I think they have an attack that can hit bait, and I think they have an attack that can hit strongest, which is your highest. See, there we go. The bait's getting destroyed there by that stupid wolf. I think they have a attack that hits weakest, which is the lowest HP target, and an attack that hits strongest, which is the highest HP target. Because when they're with the boss, pretty much it seems like everybody gets hit. Maybe they've got to hit all as well. I don't know. If someone wants to let me know in the comments, that would be great. I can easily just go to my Discord and ask there, but I just never remember to. But if you know what the mushrooms do, then you know you can let me know in the comments. But I think they're the worst with the boss. They seem to be the one that hits the hardest. Okay, so here we go. Here's the tank too. So that's the boss hitting the back line. I know that much. That's why you have the tank at the back, because it hits like a truck. We're gonna leave him because if he takes a hit and he dies, it could be like a massive crit or something, and then we can just res him. Whereas if we heal him now and he takes that massive crit, he's back to where he was. So it's always, in my opinion, it's always better to let someone die and then res them than to heal them, because they can take those big hits and just die, and it doesn't matter, and then you res them up. It all depends on which potions you have more of and what you want to do. So here we're not looking the best because we don't have much SP. So it's going to be hard to hit this guy, but we'll see how we go. So I have my hit everybody move. So this deals like damage to a random enemy and 4 additional enemies. But I have dual strike, and then my yeah, so I have dual strike, so it can hit like multiple times. So we're going to do that and hopefully hit this guy a few times. And also my pet can potentially heal up, shield up people. So let's see how we go. Let's see if it hits 480 times again. It did. It hit a lot, and you see that he got crushed pretty good. Okay, this deals a heap of damage to target enemy, so this actually might kill him. Oh, not quite. And this one to weakest enemy, which is him because he's got the lowest health. Done. Okay, now we can auto. He's definitely gonna, well, not definitely. No one can say that definitively, but he's pretty much gonna die. And Chaos is not looking super great either. As is Avid Shadow. All of my tanks are getting kind of crushed. There we go, Avid Shadow's dead. Let's res him up. I did buy some more revive potions as well. I was almost down to 100, so I spent a fair amount of gold and bought like quite a few of these. So let's use them. I'm happy using those medium ones, res or heals or whatever, all the time, because you can just buy them with gold. And you know, all it costs you is gold, and most of the time you've got gold. Probably not early game, but most of the time at end game you've got gold just sitting there doing nothing. Unless you're trying to buy runes and all that sort of stuff, in which case they actually cost quite a bit of gold. But I'm maxed out on runes. On that topic, actually, I did get the best meta rune as well this week. So I had a meta rune that was like first hit on an enemy does like extra, oh, we can see. This one. First enemy attack on an opponent deals 25% increased damage. It's pretty good. But you know, you hit an enemy once and it's done. And then I asked the Discord and I said, that doesn't seem that great. What's the best meta rune for DPS? And then Spuda said it's Gale. While at full health, SP regeneration increased by 25%. So if you're at full health as a DPS, you should be most of the time because your tanks and baits are taking the damage. You're regenerating your SP a quarter of the time quicker, which is pretty good. So I managed to nab that, which is nice. And then a couple of weeks ago, I got my last Dual Strike rune. So I've got 10% Dual Strike in my runes as well. So all in all, my runes are done. And if we take a quick look at runes, down here, nope, too far. So, you know, you need 1 million gold to get a meta rune. You need 500k to get a major, and you need 200k, nope, 500k as well for a minor. For a legendaries at least. So that can eat up your gold pretty damn quick, especially if you go, okay, I want 4 dual strike runes like I do, and you have 2. And you're like, okay, well, there's a lot of these. So you could spend, you know, you could buy like 8 of these and get 1 dual strike. You could spend 8 of these and not get a dual strike. And then 8 of them is going to cost you 4 million gold. So yeah, gold can be eaten up pretty quick that way. But once you've got all of that, which I'm lucky enough to do, but again, I've been playing for 2+ years. So, and level 310 and whatnot. So, once you've got all that, gold is not super duper important. So that's when I wait for things to go on sale like this, 3.7k, and you buy them in bulk. So at the moment, how many gold consumable thingies do I have? I have 177 of them. So that's 177 days. That's pretty much half a year. I don't really need to buy any more of them, but if I was to, and I threw down like 50 of them, it would cost me 1,870.5k. I have 1.3 mil, so I could do that multiple times, and you don't need that many. I don't need 177, but every time I get under 100, I start panicking for some reason, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have enough. And it's like, no, that's a third of a year, dude. You've got plenty, but in my head, it's not enough. And so I end up buying a heap. So these cost me gold. The runes cost gold, but they're done now. So I generally just wait until the potions are on sale. Otherwise, you can just come down here and they're 5k each. So if I wanted to buy, average revive potion is 10. So these are a bit more expensive. So if I wanted to buy 50 of these, it cost me 500k. So, you know, 100 of these, say it's going to cost you a mil. So if you save up your gold and stuff and you don't need runes and all that shit anymore and you're looking for something to spend them on, that's probably a good option. And that is it. So what are we at? Oh shit, we're at 40 minutes almost. That's a bit of a longer video than I was intending, but that's fine. So there is item find Tuesday, done for another week. As I said, we got this week, next week will be Tuesday. The week after, hopefully we'll be back to Sunday. And then from there on, we should be back to a regular schedule. But for now, that is it. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you like this video, click here to see another one just like it. If you're new to the channel and like what I'm doing, click here to subscribe and become the newest member of the Chicken Coop. If you really like what I'm doing, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description, where you can help support me and help the channel grow. You'll also find a link to the channel's Discord server where you can chat with me and other members of the Chicken Coop. And don't forget to hit that notification bell.